We just wrapped up our group coaching call for the Confident Athlete program, and we had a great call talking about the whole concept of becoming the person that can achieve the goals that you've set for yourself and working from the goal rather than towards the goal. And we had a lot of great things. And after I got done the call, there's a lot of things that I thought those are some concepts I want to talk about on the Daily Success Strategies podcast. And so I was going through that thing and what part should I share? And what I've decided to do is actually share part of that call with you. So enjoy this call. I think there's a lot of things in this. We're talking specifically about athletics in this call, but everything we're talking about can be directly applied to business, entrepreneurship, anything that you're trying to achieve. These concepts can apply to you. So love to hear your thoughts on it. So after you listen to it, please leave some comments, leave some feedback, send me a DM. Love to hear those things. Thanks. Usually on these calls, we're talking about confidence. We're talking about different ways that we're going to help you improve your confidence. And tonight, what I want to talk about is more directed on becoming the person that you need to be able to achieve your goals. It's a concept that's really important to understand because you've got big goals. And to achieve those things, you've got to become a different person than you are right now. And you look at where you're at right now in your sport. You're a different person than you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 5 years ago. You've got to become the person who can do the thing that you're trying to achieve. And so I want to talk a little bit about that tonight. As we look at what our goals are, what we want to do to become a successful athlete, the hard part isn't becoming the successful athlete. The hard part is becoming the person who can do the things that'll make it so you can become a successful athlete. So I want you to think about that and just put that into perspective so you understand that, because until you become that person, you can't do those things. And so you've got to switch your identity. You've got to switch who you identify yourself as and what you're capable of doing. So a lot of people, they'll just go to the coach and say, tell me what to do. Just tell me what it is I need to do, A, B, C, and I'll follow along. I'll do that, and I'm going to be successful. But if your coach just tells you exactly what to do, you're not going to be able to do it until you've put in the work, put in the practice, and become the person that can do those things. It's just like my daughter just had a baby. He's a month old. I can't go tell him to go clean his room. He hasn't become the person that can do that thing yet. So you've got to do whatever it takes, put in the time, put in the effort, put in whatever it takes to become that person before you're going to be able to do it. So look at what your goals are in your individual sport and figure out what it is you have to do to become that person. And the biggest problem that we have from reaching our goals is that you haven't become that person yet. That's where a lot of frustration comes, because we've got to learn from our failures and build from it. We've talked about the growth mindset. We've got to do that. The failures don't mean quit. Whether you're working on something for 15 minutes, 15 hours, 15 months, when it doesn't produce the results that you want, a lot of people just say, it didn't work. I want you to consider this, that all work works. Think of a two-sided coin. There's a side that's working on you, and there's a side that you're working on. So when what you're working on doesn't work, our automatic thought is, oh, it's not working. That's when it's working on you the best. What's an example we could use? It's, if you're working to gain more playing time and you're putting in the effort and you're getting better and things are looking good and you don't get that extra playing time, do you say it didn't work? No, because it made you a better player. It also is teaching you patience. It's teaching you more about the game. There's so much more than the skill itself that you can learn. An example of this outside the sports realm is in a lot of people I deal with are in sales, and they do a presentation and it doesn't go well. And they say, oh, it didn't work. Well, that whole presentation, you may look at it as not working because you didn't get the sale. But on the other hand, it was in the process of making you a better presenter. So it still was working on you. And, I look back when I was young and I was in boxing. And when I started out, I was at a part in my weight class that I was kind of in the upper end. And by the end of that year, I had grown, I'd got bigger. I went into a new weight class and I was starting to get the tar kicked out of me sometimes because I was fighting a lot bigger kids. But I remember my coach showing me some film and saying, you know what, you feel like you're going downhill because you're not doing as well as you want to be doing right now. But look at how you're moving. Look at your skills. Look at how you fight compared to a year ago. And even though I wasn't doing as good in the upper class that I had hoped I would be, I was a much better boxer. And so we've got to look at that when we do things and we feel like it's not working for us, it is still working. It's working on us and making us better at our sport. As a basketball player, you're working on a certain move over and over and over, and you feel like you just can't grasp it. Well, one, there's certain details about that move that you're getting better at that might not be used in that move, might be used in something else that you're getting better at. And then all of a sudden one day it's going to click and that move works. It's continually working on you. So when you feel like that extra practice isn't working, it's because what you're thinking the objective was, like I was saying earlier, playing time isn't happening. But that extra practice, it's what's helped you become a better teammate. It's helped you become a better sixth man or whatever position you're in, all of those things. We've talked a lot about it, that how we look at things, that life is happening for you rather than to you. When you work on these things and feel like it's not working and you quit, that's when you're going to lose momentum. In the first modules of this program, we talk a lot about momentum. And when we quit, we lose that momentum and it's a downward spiral. So we want to keep going, keep working on those things and keep letting them work on us as well. So when you're doing something that feels like it's not working, trust me, it is working. It may not be working for you, but it's working on you. And sometimes when it's working for you a lot, it's not working on you enough. That's when you need to push yourself more. You need to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to try things that don't seem like they're working. You need to do those things if you want to get better. You want it to work on you because you want to become the person that can do the things repeatedly, that it doesn't matter what happens in your life, in the external environment, in the game situations, what a ref does, all of those things. You become the person that can do that thing. So, you look at a lot of people that bounce back from different things. They have a big failure and they bounce back. Why is it? Because they've become the person that can do the thing. So that's what I want you to really be focusing on, is becoming that person. Now, this is something I talk about in other courses with business stuff as well. And so I've been putting some studying into this, and there's been a few things that I've come across that I want to share too. A lot of this, the things that we work on, it's got to happen in our mind first. We've got to be able to identify as that person that can do that thing. Stephen Covey said that mental creation always precedes physical creation. You've got to be able to mentally create it in your mind before you can actually do it. Everything's created twice. I wrote an article a long time ago. It's the most popular blog article on my website. And it's called, I think the title of it, Everything's Created Twice, once in your mind and once in reality. Mary Lou Retton, she was a U.S. gymnastic competitor in, I believe, is the 1984 Olympics. And it came down to the finals. She had to get a perfect score on her last vault for them to win gold. And before before she went, she sat at the end of the runway, closed her eyes, and then ran, and she got a perfect 10. And afterwards, a reporter asked her, what was she doing when she was standing there? And she says, I just visualized, I saw the whole run, whole performance in my mind, and then went and did exactly what I saw. So everything you do has to be created in your mind before you can actually do it. So as we say, you've got to become the person that can do these things. You've got to be able to identify as that person that can do those things. You've got to be able to see those goals before you actually are able to go out and do it. So once you're clear and committed to those things, and once you're clear and committed to what your goals are, everything else can filter through that goal. Your decisions, your actions, everything you do are based around that goal. So whatever your goal is as an athlete, your decisions should be filtered through that goal. I was in Salt Lake, this is a number of years ago, Apollo Ono, US Olympian, speed skater, sorry. He was talking about going to whatever number of Olympics it was. I think at that time he had 8 medals, and his goal was to win a gold. And so everything he did was based on that goal. He said it wasn't a hard thing to worry about my diet, because the only thing food was fuel to help me achieve my goal. So when you have that big of a goal, everything you do filters through there. But you've got to be clear, you've got to be committed, you've got to know what that goal is. And for some of you that have been in this program for a long time, you probably haven't looked at your goals in a while. You haven't gone through the 7 levels deep. You haven't gone through the whole goal setting that we do in the first module. And if you want an updated version of that, go to jeffheggie.com/peak performance. It's the same stuff, just updated a little bit, but you can go through that and get your whole goal system updated. And you've got to know, not just believe, you've got to know that whatever it is you're trying to achieve, it's yours. And then you've got to act as though everything you want can and will be yours. And when you commit 100% to what you want and know the end result is already yours, then you're just giving yourself evidence that you can do that. It's like when I talk about the reticular activating system, where you write out your goals every day, you're going to notice things, and it's going to help you to achieve those goals. When you are 100% committed and you have that burning obsession to achieve that goal, you're going to find things all around you that are going to help you achieve those goals. And then, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he has in one of his new books, he says, commitment is a statement of what is. You can know that you're committed by your results, not by what you say you're committed to. So I want you to think about that. You can know what you're committed to by your results, not what you say you're committed to. So what you say doesn't matter. It's what you do and the results you get. The result is the proof of a commitment. So you can say, I want to be the best basketball player on the team. But your commitment and your actions and the results that you produce from those are going to tell you how much you're committed to that. And you know what? Yes, it is going to require you to fully embrace your future self, putting yourself out there as that person you're trying to become. And sometimes it's going to take a lot more time than you anticipate. There will be obstacles. There will be a lot of obstacles. It's not going to be smooth. But if you're committed, everything you face along the way will help you better prepare for what you truly want. And it'll help you when you hit those obstacles. It'll help you become the person that can do those things. It'll help you become better at that thing. Then so once you have those long-term goals established, you just need to make them your number one priority. Like I said earlier, they become a burning obsession. And one of the things so Benjamin Hardy that I just mentioned, he just sent me his new book to preview. And in there, he also says that if we make the urgent short-term tasks our priority, then you're just living day to day and you're always in a hurry. So if you're always looking at all the tasks, all the little things, and making them your priority, you're just busy. The way to slow time down and really make progress is to lift your gaze and begin thinking much bigger and further out. And so in that book, what he talks about is, first of all, be thinking about from the end result, be thinking from the goal, but also make it a big goal. Don't just make little goals that aren't going to keep you focused and motivated. When we put the urgent before the important, we never get to the important. So if all the little things are our priority, we're never going to put a priority on that big goal. So make sure you put a priority on that goal. If I send it to you guys, but if you haven't seen it, I'd go to jeffheggie.com/anti-time management and listen to my conversation with Richie Norton. But in his book that's coming out on August 30th, what he says is act from your future, not towards it. And so just like I've been talking, acting from that point when you've already achieved the goal. And then Benjamin Hardy says something similar, and he says, think and act from your goal rather than towards your goal. So these are things I really want you to be thinking about. Number one, what is your big goal? What are you really trying to achieve? And go through the 7 levels deep. What is your why behind that? Why do you really want to achieve that? And have that as your motivation. Create that burning desire so that you're willing to do whatever it takes to do that. But don't lose focus when obstacles get in your way. Don't lose focus. They're helping you become the person that can do the thing. And one of the things I want you to do, and I really encourage you on this, is create a daily ritual. Getting up every morning, going through the mindset questions. I've updated the mindset questions. You can get them at jeffheggie.com/mindset. But what I'd really encourage you to do, as of 2 days ago, I've got a new updated mindset journal, and it's available on Amazon. I'm going to put the link in the email that I sent out. In fact, this is actually from it. So it's got a place right here where you put your top priorities, put your tasks for the day, and then you take those, move them over, and schedule your time when you're going to work on them. And then what it does on the page beside it, it has your mindset questions that you go through. So you go through all those and hold yourself accountable. Whatever that big goal is that you're trying to achieve, what is one thing you can do today? The biggest thing you can do today that's going to help you get closer to that goal. In the evening, you go through another set of questions. And these aren't things that, it's not going to take you an hour to do these. This takes you a few minutes, but it's going to prime your brain to be focused on these. Your RAS is going to be nailed in on them, and it's going to help you do these things. So that's what I want to challenge you to do, is get this mindset journal. I'll put the link in the email, and do this on a daily basis. If you don't want to order the journal, go to jeffheggie.com/mindset. Just download the mindset questions. At least be doing that every day. Become obsessed with this. Figure out what that goal is. You know, so many of you had your goals, went through that pandemic where you lost motivation. It was frustrating. You had all those things. Let's get everything back on track. So get your goals figured out, and let's start working towards them. Are you an entrepreneur who wants to discover the breakthrough secrets that will produce the results you've been searching for, but you just can't seem to figure out why you keep working harder and harder and you're just not getting those results? I want to tell you about a new challenge that I've created just for you, the Business Domination Challenge. If you want to create the entrepreneurial lifestyle and the business you dream of, then this is exactly what you're looking for. I created the Business Domination Challenge to show you how to grow your business exponentially and to become an optimal performing entrepreneur. What's an optimal performing entrepreneur? It's an entrepreneur who's succeeding in all areas of their life. If I show you how to build a successful business, but your relationships, your health, and everything else is falling apart, that's not a success. It's not about working harder. It's about implementing the correct principles and becoming the person who can do the things that produce the results. Hurry and go to jeffheggie.com/business domination and secure your spot today. The athletes and parents of athletes. So much time, money, and effort is put into the physical aspect of your sport to become the best you can be. But the mental game, it's often neglected, and it's just as important as the physical game. In fact, it's usually the differentiator between the good and the great athletes. Come and join me in the Confident Athlete program, where you'll learn to control your confidence, develop a powerful mindset, and unlock your full potential. Go to jeffheggie.com/confident athlete to find out more.